This is the story of a fisherman, Nong Jose. Armed with his bugsai and fishing net, he sets out to sea every day with the hope of getting a good harvest. Day in and day out, he paddles, tireless and hopeful. His family depends on him to put food on the table, enough to last them for the day. The next day, he paddles again. Nong Jose hopes and dreams of a bright future for his family. Nong Jose has fears as he journeys into the sea, for the future brings about uncertainties. So goes Nong Jose, tirelessly paddling to achieve his dreams and realize his hopes for himself and his family. As the bugsai meets the waves, he thrusts himself fearlessly forward. In his journey through life, he knows he is not alone. Kindness exists in this world. Evident in the many happy faces of people around him. Today is a beautiful day. Tomorrow, even better. The future looks bright.
God Almighty, thank you for bringing us together during this unprecedented and challenging time. We ask that as we move forward as a community into the next normal, you give us the strength, patience, and wisdom needed to overcome these trials and rise above the pandemic. We pray for our present-day heroes who are on the front lines fighting against the virus, those who have become sick, and those who have died. May they have eternal rest. For those of us who are holding on to hope, please give us the grace to never give up. Dearest God, heal our land. Amen.
Maayong hapon kanatong tanan, and thank you so much for joining us here today. Welcome to episode 7 of the Rafi Restart webinar series, which aims to provide practical information that will help our community not only survive but to thrive in the next normal. So let me start off by introducing myself. My name is Jackie Clavin, and I work for the Ramona Boitis Foundation, also known as Rafi. The Restart webinar series is aligned with Rafi's vision of touching people and shaping the future. So in this series, we discuss a variety of topics relevant to our lives in the new normal. No, we want to empower our community by connecting virtually with experts so that we can become more aware and more confident role in not only educating our children but informing the values of the next generation. So nasayod sad kita that our teachers put so much effort into their work. Normally, no, and with the COVID-19 pandemic, they have put countless hours into preparing for the upcoming school year because it will be looking a little bit different than what we're used to know, and that is for the safety of our students, our teachers, as well as their families. So karon, most if not all instruction will be done through distance learning, which is either going to be online or modular. So students will be at home now, no, and that means parents and guardians will play a critical role as a partner for their children's education. No? So as much as it is an adjustment for para sa mga estudyante o sa mga maestra, it will also be an adjustment for the parents as well. Episode today is entitled Back to School, Parents as Partners in the New Learning Environment. And we will be discussing what you as a parent can do to support your child physically and emotionally as we start the school year. So today's episode is brought to you by the Rafi Education Development Unit as well as the Region 7 Federation of Teachers Association. We wanted to reach out to as many parents and teachers so that we can work together, no, to help our students succeed in this new learning environment. I think daghan ta karon nag-tune in. So if you are watching, I would like to ask you, no, taga-asa ka. So if you can introduce yourself in the comment section in the Zoom chat box, or if you're watching on Facebook, you can type your comment, mag-ila-ila sa ta. You can share your name, where you live, know your location, what organization you're from, and what brings you here today. Unsa imong ganahan mo kat-on karon adlaw, no? So you can go ahead, please introduce yourself, and we can get to know each other in this virtual platform. So to move on, Rafi's Education Development Team is one of Rafi's programs under our social well-being cluster. So if you are a teacher watching, basin familiar ka sa among mga programa sa Rafi, but later on, we will be discussing some of our new initiatives that we've come up to help support education in the new normal. So please stay tuned to learn more about that. We would also like to thank our other partner this afternoon, the Region 7 Federation of Teachers Association. Ayong hapon ninyo, and we would like to thank all of our DepEd divisions also for tuning in this afternoon to watch. For the teachers tuned in, we hope that you will find this information valuable as well, so that you can also share to the parents of your students, know about how they can best support their children's education in the new normal. So we are streaming live using Zoom, the Zoom app, as a platform for our webinar this afternoon. And we are streaming live via Facebook. No, so I want to start off by going over some of our guidelines for those who registered ahead of time and are in the Zoom session with us. It might be our first time. So it's very important, know that we keep our microphone on mute. So you can see the mute button is in the lower left-hand corner of your screen if you are on a laptop or using a cell phone. Likewise, we would like to ask that you keep your video off. This is also located next to the microphone button. You can just keep it off. We will not be turning it on at any time during the session. This is to avoid disruption for our speaker, no, because we don't want to be, what do you call it, interrupting them. So please be conscious to keep your microphone and your camera off if you are with us in the Zoom session. Next, if you would like to chat to the group, you can definitely do so. You can just hit the chat button and then type what you would like to share to the rest of the group. We would like to keep it interactive, so we highly encourage you to do so. And next, if you would like to give an affirmation to our speaker, you can do so by giving a thumbs up or a clapping. No, this is a virtual affirmation for all of the speakers here today. So to summarize, number one, keep your microphone on mute during the webinar proper. Number two, please keep your camera off. So turn your camera off, please. If it's on, make sure it stays off during the entirety of the webinar. And then number three, let's make this session engaging. So you can go ahead, if you have any questions, feel free to type them into the Zoom box. You can also Zoom chat box rather. You can also comment your questions if you are watching live via Facebook stream. We have a team that is gathering all of the questions, and we will do our very best in order to address those in as much time as possible. No, so after our speakers presentation, we will have 15 minutes for question and answer. So please feel free to ask your questions, and we will get to them as time allows. So again, let's do our best to keep our videos off during this webinar. So next, we would like to introduce our speaker. We are so grateful to have her joining us this afternoon. Dr. Michelle Celiona is a registered psychologist. She finished her AB in psychology, her master's in industrial and organizational psychology, and Doctor of Management in Human Resource Management at the University of San Jose Recoletos here in Cebu City. She also finished her second doctorate degree in clinical psychology at Silliman University in Dumaguete. She served as a guidance counselor, community volunteer, trainer, and human resource practitioner. She has also served as the chair of the Department of Humanities and Behavioral Sciences at Cebu Institute of Technology University. So she's been very active in the academe as well. She is a solution-focused psychotherapist and an associate certified coach of the International Coach Federation. She's authored several books on parenting, teaching methodologies, and general psychology. So you could say, she's very familiar with this topic today. And so due to her growing clientele over the years, she also decided to open Mind Pro Psychological Services and started its operation in March 2015. So I hope you can give me a virtual round of applause to Dr. Celiona. And thank you so much for joining us here today. Doc, are you there?
Good afternoon.
Hello, mayong hapon, Doc. Thank you for joining us this afternoon. We're so excited for your presentation. I think we have a lot of people who have registered, Doc. Now, we actually had more than 3,000 people register this afternoon. So you have a big audience, and I think they will be very engaged this afternoon. So if it's okay, let's keep in mind to keep our videos off during Dr. Celiona's presentation so she will not be distracted. And if we have any questions that come up during the presentation, let's ask in the comment box or the chat box on Zoom so that we can, we'll go over them in question and answers. The doc will be able to address that later on. So without any further ado, I would like to turn it over to you, Dr. Michelle. Thank you again for joining us this afternoon.
Good afternoon, everyone. Let me share the slide. Okay, so our role, the discussion today is on our role as parents and of course our responsibilities with this online class of our children. So I just hope that we will be able to learn from this, and I will be very happy if you will be helping me process the information based on your participation on the topic that I am sharing to you. Once again, good afternoon. I am a clinical psychologist of Mind Pro Psychological Services. Let me just give a very brief introduction of what I do, as well as the clinic where we are, where I am practicing the field in psychology. So I practice solution-focused brief therapy, and then I have the clinic, and then I also have a small MAC Learning Center at Montessori School. I also propose care framework. If you will be visiting our website in Mind Pro Psychological Services, you will really get to know what is care framework. This is about how will you be able to let your children be expressive and be able to receive information well. So you want them to grow up confident, then visit our website so you would have idea as to what care framework is. And then I also have books in understanding the self. These are actually used by college students. Another is the services we offer are the following. We also offer neuropsychological assessment and then psychological testing, as well as counseling and psychological therapy, trainings and workshops, organizational coaching, psychological evaluation for adoption, child custody, and alien cases. So these are the care framework materials that we are um, distributing to the public also. If you have chance to visit our YouTube page, we will be happy to have you there, and then also have tips on how to manage your relationship. If you have anxiety, depression, and so on, please watch our YouTube videos for you to have ideas on how to be able to manage yourself when you are facing a crisis. So let us start. Isip ginikanan, unsa may gusto ninyo para sa inyong mga anak? Today is very challenging because of the pandemic. We are having online classes. This is really new to us. It's not only that we are faced with financial difficulty, we also are facing with the stresses that we are having while we are at home. We are adjusting to the kind of environment we are having. Kana bitong pirmi kang naa sa balay, sa una okay ra no nga muuli lang ka inyo ha after work, pero once nga naa ka sa balay, you see a lot of things already. You attend to your role as a parent, at the same time as a wife or as a husband, and then as a mother, and so on. So daghan kaayo kang ma-discover ba, you will be there 24/7 sa inyong balay with your children. And then ako'y mga nadunggan sa mga parents na 1 week pa gani ang online classes, na stress na sila maayo, nagtasaka na ilahang BP. So I would like to ask you lang, I'll ask the Rafi team to give me a few of your answers. Isip ginikanan, unsa may gusto ninyo para sa inyong mga anak? So can somebody share from Rafi about their answers? I'll be happy to know your answers about this so that I will have basis for my discussion all throughout the time given to me. All right? So there are people who'd like to be who wants their children to really finish schooling and have a successful life, diba? And then also kana bitang gusto silang mudako silang responsable, and then also self-sufficient and so on. So those are the things that they really love for their children. Are you having the same unsa man kanang gusto para sa inyong mga anak? Okay? So another, unsa may makababag nga dili ninyo makabot ang inyong gusto para sa inyong mga anak? So there are parents who would say, what hinders you ba no to getting what you want for your children? So there are parents nga moingon sila nga ang makapahinder gid no para nila nga dili nila makabot ang ilahang damgo para silang mga anak is that kana bitong wala sila ikapadayon sa ilaha bitong paggasto sa ilahang anak, especially the academic requirements. And then also kanang walay kwarta, kanang walay ka-support, and so on. And also they would say if the children are really having addictions to online gadgets, online anything, no activities like gadget use, gaming, and so on, makapahinder ka na siya. So I do not know if you shared the same issues, just like the other parents. But those are what I have received, no, as their answers to the concerns now, or to the answers to this question. So I'd like to introduce to you this woman. She's my mother. Just a brief history lang of what we wear. Okay, so she's my mother. She she reached grade 4 in elementary because lisod gid kaayo ang ilahang kahimtang. The fifth of 10 siblings, and then she supported the family with 9 siblings man na sila, no? Kay 10 sila, and then the parents pa, so 12. So na siya gipakaon nga mga 11 kabuok. Okay, so kana. And then tindira siya mais, and then also canvasser siya, baldi, planggana, and so on. So mo na iyahang panginabuhian while naa siya with us. This one is my father. My father is college level, eldest of 8 siblings had siya. And then wanted to be an engineer, but his parents sent him to a seminary. So ang iyang gibuhat para maka-eskwela ko na siya college, no? Nag-dealer siya encyclopedia, pero eventually nakita niya nga lisod kaayo ang pag-deal sa encyclopedia at the same time muskwela ba. So ang iyang gibuhat is ipadayon na lang niya kay dili man gid enough to sustain sa tuition fee and so on before. So when they met, kani ako ang parents, so mo niya mo ang balay. Pobre gyud ka istanan na mo ang balay, korte rag yung mao na siya kay na pa makita gid mi nga naa sa sulod. Among gibuhat para naa mi privacy sa sulod, ang among room among gitaptapan og karton para at least kung mag-ilis ni dili ni makita. Okay? So mura ra gid siya demarcation line, no, nga kana bang mao ra gid na siyang among balay. So di pwede mo sud kun dili mo taga-balay, tagbalay, and so on. And then this is our dirty kitchen. My sister. And then kana makita gid nato nga dirty gid siya, no? So sa mga karaan nga mga tao, I believe you are knowledgeable of this, no? Kita gid mo ani. So with that pobre kayo. So what happened to us, considering that our parents are really coming from the poor family and we also grew up poor? One thing I have learned from my parents is that ang ilahang magong priority is food. Basic needs, no? Food, particularly shelter, na alang may kapuyan, na ay kapasilungan, labi nagmaguwan, kaayo, na init kaayo, or kagabi, and so on. And next to the basic needs, ang education yun. Bahala na wala ni bagong sinina, bahala na dili ni trendy, wala ni makasud sa trend. Paningkamot gid sa among ginikanan nga ang schooling should be the next other than the basic needs. So kamang-kamang okay lang. Why? Because again, according to my mother, antos lang sa taron kay anyway mahuman mo eskwela, makuha ra gid na ninyo ang inyong gusto mga langga. So mo na iyang sulti namo. So meaning to say, ang kakabus di ay ug ang kalisod ba dili gid ay hindrance para makabot nato ato ang mga damgo. What I heard sa ako ang parents most of the time is to cut the chain of poverty. Meaning to say, we mo make lang gid make decision to cut the chain of poverty. We can do it through educating ourselves, going to school, and then graduate, get a diploma. But other than that, they also told us na it's not only the diploma that can make you successful. Of course, values also, characters, hard work, determination, commitment to do what you want to be doing. And also, appeal po din ang diskarte sa kinabuhi. Okay, so because of their hard work, well, we graduated in college. There are 5 of us. So my sister graduated industrial engineering. My brother, civil engineering. My other brother graduated information technology. My other brother, Leacom. I graduated also in college, in my master's and my PhD and my doctorate in management. That is why, because of that, I am equipped to deliver services based on the field that I chose. I also even opened a small school, a Montessori school. Kani siyang mga successes in life that I have and also what my siblings have are products of the belief that with the support of the parents, we can make a difference in our current lives. And because we believe in that, because my parents are also very strong and they have really faith in us to be doing something good for ourselves, that is why I believe we have succeeded to our endeavors in everything that we do. So these are who we are now, no? We gather and then kumingon ta nga pobre mi sa una, Di sad niingon dato kaayo mi karon, pero at least we are living comfortably already. Why? Because we believe that through education, we will be able to cut the chain of poverty. So let me just share to you the importance of parents' engagement and commitment. So parents' engagement, or remember that parents and teachers share responsibilities to help children meet the educational goals. That is why it is good that parents should commit to prioritize their child's educational goals. Bisag unsa pa ang kalisdanan nga ato ang masugatan, mahiaguman. So long as the goal is to finish the schooling of the children, I tell you, anything can be made possible. So research shows that family engagement in school improves students' achievement, also reduces absenteeism. If children can feel that they have been supported by the parents, students can really achieve something in school, even when the online class is very difficult for some. Okay, I tell you, when they are inspired by the support that you gave them, it reduces absenteeism here. They will be able to be inspired to go on the extra miles. And then it also restores parents' confidence in their children's education. So kung engaged man gud ang family sa school, ma-improve gid na asa pud ang confidence sa parents sa ilahang sa mga sa education sa ilahang anak. And then another is that students with involved parents or other caregivers also earn higher grades and test scores. Why? Because the support of the parents mong good would make way ba na kung magtuod ang mga bata, tagaan gyud og luna, tagaan gyud og lugar diin maka-learn gid sila. So kung mahimo at this time, especially kung nag-online class ang mga bata, ayaw lang gid palabi og hatag og trabaho sa mga bata kay stressful man sad gud ni ang online class kay may mga projects nya lisod kaayo ang mobility ba. And then also if involve ang mga parents, children become or have better social skills. Why? Because once parents are involved man good, I would assume also na parents will also give kanang a lot time ba hatag pud og oras na makig-istorya sa ilang mga anak kung kumusta na ang ilahang online classes. Yeah, once man good maanad ang mga bata og istorya sa ilahang mga ginikanan, dili lisod para nila na mo engage in conversation sa uban. Mo ng mga ginikanan, I highly encourage you to talk to your talk to your children other than giving them tasks ba. Okay, communicate with them. I have a client last week no ni ana siya nga I wanted my children to grow up responsible. But then okay, what is responsibility? Kana mahuman gid sa eskwela, mahuman gid ang task and so on. Yes, mahuman gid ang task pero unsa may nahitabo sa process nga mahuman ang task, basin daghan kaayong pamalikas, basin daghan kaayong pagpugos, basin daghan kaayo ang pressure to the point nga mas involved sa noon kaayo ka tanan or wa ra sad gid kaayo ka. Extreme ba? So in moderation, if involved ka, you also have to ask your children about what's going on, and then if you think there is a need for you to suggest what needs to be done sa ilahang pag-eskwela, better. Pero kung wala ra pod, continue listening to your children. And if involved ang parents no sa eskwelahan and so on, children also show improved behaviors. Another is that research has shown that parents' engagement has a positive impact on many indicators of student achievement, including enrollment in higher level programs and advanced classes. So what is meant by that? So when parents are engaged no sa panginahanglan sa mga estudyante, particularly in meeting their academic responsibilities, in doing that, ang mga bata manggod mas maganahan sila mo go farther, will have higher level programs na mapadayon ba, especially karon nga ang trending, it's not only bachelor's degree pero master's and doctor's program already. So kung nindot ang ilang experience with schooling and learning, they would really wanted themselves to go farther. And also higher graduation rate. Okay, nakafeel man sila na they have been supported by their parents. Another is increased social capital. So, kala, indicate positive impact po na siya when parents are engaged. Another is a stronger belief in the importance of education. So, daghan kaayo ang musulti nako before na ato, siguro nakadungog pud mo no nga walay na dato sa eskwela. Pastila na lang gid anak nga linya. I don't believe in that. Siguro walay na dato dayon, moingon sila nga ni eskwela ka. Because after graduation, kinahanglan pa man ka man ni kay sikay, mga apply trabaho, and then test the water ba kung asa jud ka pwede. So again, it's not only nga ang diploma ray makapasuccessful sa inyong mga anak. Along the way of getting that diploma, let your children learn from school, support them also along the way. Kay ang diskarte usapod na siya nga makatabang nato. Maingon sila nga walay na dato sa pag-eskwela, I don't think so. Kay daghan kaayong nausab nga kinabuhi tungod kay nang desisyon sila eskwela. Pagsugod sa pandemic, sa daghan kaayo kong nabasahan sa Facebook nga nang reklamo gani nga sala bagyo di ay nato namo nga nanarbaho ni ug ni-improve ang amo ang kondisyon sa panginabuhian nga wala lang gani ni nakadawat og ayuda. So naakoy mga nabasahan ana sa Facebook. Nya naapoy times nga ang mga parente no once gani musaka ka kay gikan sa pobrehon musaka na gani kag ni-improve ang imuhang kahimtang sa kinabuhi naaputay mga paryente nga mura bitag obligado kay kang mutabang, di ba? Mura sila gabilin og kwarta ninyo ba. So sahay makaingon ta sa diha bitong ipa-eskwela ta dungan wa man mo mangiskwela. Unya ngilad na noon kaayo kog batasan nga nahuman kog eskwela naningkamot ko. May ana ba? So I tell you na daghan kay pwede natong mabuhat when you finish schooling. Kay makapang-apply ka sa trabaho, kung dili ka mang-apply, daghan kang kasudlan nga pwede. Diskartes kinabuhi and so on. Nga naman, because you become confident. More confident manggug ka if you have graduated ba. Especially from college. How much more kung master's graduate ka? Of course, dili tanang college students or college graduates or even master's program graduate or graduate program nga mga nag-masters ba nga successful po. Kaya syempre naman say other factors like low self-esteem, mahadlokon kaayo or maging uwangon kaayo. So napay na nga mga factors. That is why katmong mga ginikanan nga inyong mga anak gagmay pa, tudluin din sila kung unsa daay ka-importante nga makighistorya sila ninyo to build their confidence. That is why, because I am seeing this, no, kay I have been interviewing a lot of applicants sa mga because as an HR practitioner also nang interview ko mga graduated from college. Naay uban nila nga despite nakapasal sa board exam and so on when I conducted interview, dili kaayo ka-articulate sa ilang ideas, dili kaayo ka-articulate sa ilang mga words. What happened man nga ni graduate man ta ni nga naay uban gani awardees, no? Like cum laude and so on. Why is it that they cannot articulate their thoughts? The reason is they are not used to be articulating their thoughts. So I just hope that with that, let's atong hinuklugan mga ginikanan as to how can we possibly help our children bitaw develop the confidence ba? Kaya confidence na ba ma-develop dili lang sa gawas, kundi it started from us, parents. What are our responsibilities? Number one is that that's my father, no? So that's me. So the foundation for school success is created in the home. It begins with parent-child relationship. So meaning to say, kung nindot manggod ang atmosphere sa balay, as far as support bitaw given to children, particularly sa learning endeavor, layo kaayo kapadulngan ang mga bata. So, as a parent, provide a loving and supportive home environment. I hope the home is a better place to live. Bisan pag unsa ta ka pobre, bisan pag nagpuyo kag payag nga inigsud nimo sa balay, automatic sala, kusina, kwarto, division nila nagamay para sa mo ang gibuhat sa una, karton nila na para may privacy ba. Di gina siya makapahinder, nga nung dili makatun ng mga bata. Provide a loving and supportive home environment means give them affection, recognize their achievement, look at their needs. We're not also to the point of dictating your children. The point is you ask them questions. Mabitaw nga namugna nako ang care framework because the materials are intended to teach the parents bitaw of the art of questioning. Ang art of questioning, it's not only for teachers to use during discussion. Parents have to use the arts of asking question. Why? Because when you learn this, you will be able to know bitaw unsaon man daay nako pagbuhag information about the thoughts and feelings of my children. No nga wala man in taon ko ka graduate of college or wala man gani ko matun-i ana because akong kurso ingon ani layo ra kaayo sa psychology and so on. It can be learned. Ka-learn gid na siya. Again, it can be learned. All right, so kana. Another is practice active listening. So, what is meant by practice active listening? There are times when children would rant, kana bang magsigig reklamo tungod kay ang ilaha kunong mga ginikanan, magsigig yaw-yaw. Nga ang ginikanan mosulti nga dili mo ko magsigig yaw-yaw do kay magmay-may man ko. So, meaning ang delivery sa parents nagpasabot og may-may pero ang dawat sa mga bata yaw-yaw. So when this happens, I don't think arguing with our children will help. Listen, kung ang ilahang perception is nagyaw-yaw ta, siguro we need to modify our ways of, kana bang may-may nila. Basin daghan na kay words that are used ba. Okay? Another, hold conversation. Sa pagkakaroon man god, especially sa mga ginikanan, no? Kanang na-pressured po ba? Mas pressured ang ginikanan, especially sa mga gagmayng bata. Nga mo coach gid sa mga bata, hala ka na, magkiat pa, and so on. Labad ka ayo sa, okay rag high school, no? O college, basin, di ka ayo pareha ka kanabitaw ka consumption siguro kaysa anang imuhang mga anak gagmay pa. So, mag-consumption sila tungod kay magsigig tudlo and so on. So, look at the conversation and the kind of kind of dynamics na sa inyong pamilya karon kay basi nagpuro na lang ka task, wala na kay relationship kaayo nga na-establish ba just because you wanted to finish a task sa inyong mga anak. So, mindful po ta nga sa pagkat-on sa mga bata sa concept, nakat-on po sila sa pagsabot nga wala bitaw, dili bitaw kay siya pressured just because you wanted them to learn. Teach them how to do it. Kung naamoy ideas as to how to do something about their subject, teach them. Unya kung di sa kang kibaw, patabang. Okay? But not to the point bitaw nga ma-push nimo sila sa wall. Pressured ba kay sila pod sa requirements, sa assignments, and so on. And then pressuring them to do it will not be of help. So what you can do is ask, Langga, in what way can I possibly help you? O sa paman nga paagi para mas matabangan ka. So naay mga magyaw-yaw, kapoy jud kaayo ma ang kanang kuan, assignment, and so forth, ana. Listen to them. Do not interrupt when they run. Just listen. And after that, you tell them, sige, unsa man day gusto ni mga schedule nga asa ka dapat magtuon mo na you have to also make have a break also. So kana may hinana ang mga storya. And then show that you are interested in what your child has to say. Allow your children, especially first 2 weeks, mag-adjust gina sila. After a month, hinahinay na sila ka-adjust. Pero first 2 weeks, crucial na. Gabot og 1 month, daghan na kaayo nag-requirements and so on, mag-abot ba kay daghan biyang subjects, no? So just allow them to to say ang ilang mga complaints and so on. Ayo, pasagda ilang mo rant and then paminawa lang sila. Another is prepare the child to be ready for the next online class with an adequate food and good night's rest. So this means nga as a parent, i-prepare sila ba? No? I hope makakaon sila sakto. O niya, kanang pakatulga gid sila sa saktong oras. Lisod siguro ang pagpakatug sa saktong oras, especially kaning mga dagko na mga bata, kay kanila laging ilang online classes ba? I mean, no, kana ilang, sorry, ilaha bitang addiction to the gadgets, no? Mas madaghan pang social media browsing kaysa ilaha bitang paghimog projects and so on. So, hopefully maka-establish mo aning routine no sa kanos na gid angayan nga matug para dili sila magduka the next day. Another is keep the school informed of any changes in your child's home life that might affect his or her progress in school. So once the children have started to have their online class, okay, or modular classes ba nila, I hope you can also arrange with the teacher ba kung naabay changes ang bata nga teach how come akong anak ingon ani dili man gid siya teach o yun so man ni nako teach or teach arang na siya karon teach unsaon pa man nako. So arrange a schedule sa inyong teacher kung sa apod pwede mo maka-contact nila kay not all the time pwede ha kay syempre na po na personal life ang mga teachers unya na po na sila preparations nga buhaton para silang subject. So I think sa mga eskwelahan na anay gi-establish bitaw siguro ang school og mga consultation hours ba. So you just ask the teacher when is the best time to engage a conversation with them or to text them so that your queries will be answered. Okay? Another is that I hope that you will work with teachers or staff or other parents in a cooperative way. Kanang mga silingan-silingan naman gid no, especially sa mga government nga mga eskwelahan. So kung naamoy wala masabti, naamoy gikalisuran no in assisting your children bitaw sa ilahang online classes or modular classes, you ask your neighbors, you ask other parents, contact them. Kay it doesn't mean na just because you ask them you are less than them. No, mas maayo gid mo connect pug kanila kay the more you connect with them, I think the more help you can get from them. Okay? Another is, I hope you take part in parent groups like parents chat group. Naay mga parents nga kung ihangyo kaayo naghimo og chat group for them. So magkuan sila mag form silang chat group and then they discuss about it no so sila mga issues nila sa mga online classes ilang mga anak or modular nila nga mga classes. So there are tips on how to prepare the parents for online education. So ikaw isip ginikanan, usaon man nimo pag-prepare po kay it's not only the children nga mo prepare sa online class. Apil ka sa pag-prepare kay naa man sad nimo pod ang book of expectations pa on what you can do sa bata o sa iyang performance. So parents, teachers are also relying to you on the amount of support you can give to your children. Na ako'y madunggan nga, teacher, kanang kami may nagmaestro rin sa amo ang mga anak, kanang tunga ta sa sweldo, kay kamoy apilo, misnitudlo. Teachers have also things to do. They prepared a lot, no? Kanang some modular presentations, kanang ilang preparations, and so on. So you as parents, this is just a reinforcement on your side, inyong role bitaw as parents, ba, as the first teachers good of the children. So you need to prepare yourself also. So what preparation can you do? Physical preparation, let's start about it. So you structure, remember structure and routine. So what is meant by structure and routine? So number one is minimize distraction. Bisag unsa pa kagamay sa inyong balay, tagai kunog area inyong mga anak where ana sila mag-online class. Divisionan lagi na siya, alihan nag something diha para malayo siya sa distraction ba. So it's very important also. Kunya kung mahimo, kung dagko na inyong mga anak, ina nga you prepare everything no sa before sila mag-class or especially gagmay pa mga bata, i-prepare lang daan ang ilang mga kapahinahanglan, pencils or crayons, notebooks, calculator and so on para dili na bitaw sila kas og time nga asa akong ruler ay sa ipa-prepare na nila para naagi one area where once man good organized ang lugar, better ang learning nato samot nas mga bata. Why? Because of the structure and the organization of the place. Another physical preparation is make space for learning. Kung naatay lamisa din ha, natay lingkuranan din ha, manasad na tagai pug lugar diin makasuwat inyong mga anak. Para hamugaway siya ba? I tell you, when you start organizing sa inyong lugar, makdako kay siya impact with how receptive your children will become as far as listening to the online class that they are having. Or maski pag modular, no? Kanang kuhaon na dito ang mga modules sa mga eskwelahan. So tagay gig area or space na diin makalugar gid town sila pod og tuon. Kaya usahay reklamos mga bata, especially aning nas mga government schools, saba kuno kay ang panimalay. So kamo mga ginikanan kung mahimo lang istoryahe po na ninyo sa inyong mga spouses ha, inyong kapika sa kinabuhi ba. Na kung mahimo na may panaglalis and so on, panggawas mo kung di mo pwede mo suod sa balay kay maamong inyong mga anak. Pag surya gud mo gawas na kung mahimo ayo pagsigig ka. Kay bisag unsa pa na kanindot sa inyong structure, organization, magsige lang sad mo og singka, magsige lang pug kaaway, that has greater impact also of the capacity of your children to learn. Lisod biya kay online class, no? Niya naapagisamok sa palibot ba. Okay? So kanang mga silingan pod nga mga sabaan, hangyo po na ninyo kanang mga video kay ba? Ato hangyo na tong silingan ha kanang magkaraoke, mag-video kay ba? Ayo to ni atol ninyo pod ha nga ari mo sting klase ba kay maluway intaw kas kung mga silingan nga ang mga bata nang eskwela nagsugod ba, no? So dool na lang kaayo karong October na, no? Mag first week of October. So mga silingan nga nagsigig nga sa ilang video kay hopefully ato na siyang ibutang ha sa Sabado Domingo ba ayaw lang kanunay pud ha nga kada adlaw ba kay stress releaser sa ninyo dagang ma-stress, no? Kung mo na inyong buhaton ting klase. Another is this one. Another physical preparation, orient your child about the distance learning and daily routines, post daily schedule. Kung sa'y pasabot ani niya, istoryahe inyong mga anak na langga. Ang imong klase ugma ingon ani ha. So matulog ka ingon aning orasa para the next day maayo imong pagmata, maayo imong mood. So i-discuss na siya yan. You ask your child also, bilangga unsa may akong buhaton bi para matabangan ka makatug ka og saktong oras. Nya routine also ha. Kanang mga bata tagay ginag-oras kanus sa ara pwede mag-cellphone. Ako I would suggest na dili kami nga walay cellphone. Tagay lag time. Oh, pwede mag-cellphone pero 30 minutes lang ka mag-cellphone ha. Kay kinahanglan ka og break from the digital exposure. Nana ba ha? So part gina siya sa daily schedule. Another is digital recess. Hopefully you can have digital recess. Ingna inyohang mga anak mo once gani kana bitang break sila, let them stretch and then eat snacks and drink water. Ayaw sila pa game, walay games, walay videos and other technology. Another physical preparation is that provide other learning materials that reinforce learning if needed. Okay? At naning kayo ubang parents ani, so that can help children also. Mental preparation. Get to know the online learning platform. Kinahanglan ginikanan makahibawsan mo unsaon ni siya ha. Again, patudlo kung dili man gani mong kamao. Another make a plan, pananglitan. Gagmay pa inyong mga anak na naa kay palitpon sa gawas, kinsa kay pwedeng mahibilin para dili kay ka ma-stress. Planuhi day before or night before unsay pwedeng mahitabo ugma para dili kay ka ma-stressed out ba nga hala way may bilin sa akong anak mapalit pa ko hala unsa man ni napay band paper napay anak ba ha. So again, make preparation, make a plan. Unya, reach out to your child's teacher. Communicate with other parents, it's very important. For the emotional preparation, importante gyud kaayo ang you take care of yourself. How will you take care of yourself? Exercise, play a game, garden, exercise. Basta lihok, pagpasingot. Kaya nga no, na ay mga hormones gagi-trigger din na, particularly serotonin and dopamine. Mga happy hormones ni siya, makita ni nato or makuha ni nato when we do exercise. Another is make healthy lifestyle. Kung mahimo, reduce ang stress. How? Make plans, okay, beforehand. Drink water, eat healthy. Okay? Another, don't forget to have fun with your family. Importante yun nga, other than being serious with your support of your children, talingaw sad oy kana pangita sa paagi nga mo gather mo together na way istorya about trabaho or eskwela kamo lang together and make fun. Okay, so again, the goal of families and schools working together is to nurture skills for developing lifelong learning. All right, so I'll be ready now for the questions that you will be asking.
Thank you so much, Doc, no, for your presentation. I really enjoyed learning about pero medyo naka-inspire sa ko sa imong story, Doc. No, so I have some questions here. The first is, what advice would you give to parents na, maybe both of them are working and then mabilin ang ilang bata sa balay, or maybe they have, a relative or an older sibling taking care. How can they still support even though they might not be at home during the actual learning as it's taking place?
Yes, that's what I mean when I said na you plan for that because kung wala mang gani mo kay we understand it ha kay dual earners di ta karon kay di na gid kaya ang usa ra gyud sa ginikanan no sa kadagang requirements ko ug sa requirements economic ba I think you need to make a plan for that mo nang structure gyud daan ang inyo ang routine sa mga bata i-orient kinsay pwedeng mahibilin kay di man sad pwede na walay mahibilin especially gagmay pa ang mga bata. So importante kaayo ang routine, Miss Jack. So I just hope you understand routine. Nya actually gina sa orientation kung naabayaya din na or helper or kana mga auntie or uncles na mahibilin.
So really your point, Doc, no, is having a structure, having a routine so that the child is guided, no, this is what I'm going to do today, so that there's still a sense of normalcy, no, since we cannot have the in-person classes that they may be used to. At least every day, every school day, there is a certain structure that is in place, no, for the child. I also have another question, Doc, no, because there are some cases where the parents are not involved in the picture at all. So and then they may be left to the care of a lola or maybe an auntie or another relative, ate lang, pero it's more of a guardianship, not really a parent. So what advice could you give to that? Is that relationship still the same as having that parent-child relationship, or maybe it might be a little, the dynamics may be different. So what advice could you give to guardians or other situations like that?
Yes, as much as possible, malola ka or ma-auntie ka, kung naay bata under your care, you are parenting that child. So I just hope you will have to tap your nurturing ability ba, nga you may be a lola or the parent and so on. There is no difference at all when care and love are really present ba in the dynamics while attending to the child, attending to the needs of the child.
Yes. So your point, Doc, is that if you are given the responsibility of being a guardian of a child, that the same, what do you call it, love and affection that a parent should give, you should still provide, di ba, Doc? So
yes.
So there are also some questions here from our comment section, Doc. Let me read them. How do you control kids' addictions to cell phones and other gadgets? Basin sobraan ang gadget time sa mga bata, Doc. What advice could you give to help control or monitor that?
Yes. At first, this is a tedious job for the parents and this needs consistency. Pananglitan. Kung ang online class sa inyong mga anak alas 8 hangtod alas 3 sa hapon siguro or maybe alas 12 sa udto and so on. So monitoring ta as to kanos example online class na siya 12 o'clock. So you agree and you try to discuss it with your children as to kanus aman niya buhaton niyang assignments. Nya kanus aman pod niya suggestion niya ba kung kanus apod siya sa iyang gadget mo gamit ug mahuman. Okay, we have to emphasize to the children that they need to have a break from any screen exposure because ang screen exposure na too much, dili po siya maayo for them. So, ang ako lang is consistency. Monitor them, dili lang monitoring nga makalugar ka, kundi monitor them para ma-establish gid ang routine sa mga bata. Nga you as parents, seryoso ba sa pagtan-aw nga maayo lang gid ang ilahang pag-eskwela. Naay times, example lang ha, naay mga times nga moana ang mga parents, especially sa adolescents, no, nga langga, alas 9 ra tataman ha sa cellphone use. Magkisi-kisi yun na, mga teenagers and so on, kay gusto man sila mo gamit og cellphone yun, no, kay chat and so on. Masuko na sila. So agree, sige, asa, unsa man daing oras sa taman imong gusto. Moingon sila, alas 11 langga, okay. O sige, alas 10. So negotiate, arrive to an agreement bitaw nga both agreed to that. Okay. Di man sad pwede imposing sa kaikan, especially dagko na ang mga bata. Sa mga gagmayng bata, makakuan ra ka, makahimo ra ka, makuha ra na nimo. Pero sa mga dagko na mga bata, nga imuha silang i-restrict bitaw to that point lang, lisod na mo kisi-kisi na, pero that will just be momentarily. Eventually masabtan na nila, especially kung naanad na sila nga ilang gadget use photo bragid alas 10. Masuko sila or unsa ilang buhaton, basaing na sila na that is what I think should be done lang.
Yeah, so at least there's also some buy-in, no, sa field, no, that they understand, so it doesn't feel, no, too imposing. So
Yes.
Let's see. Okay, I have another question here, Doc. Unsaon ni Doc ang akong bata usahay mawad-an man og gana aning sa online class? So sa motivation sa student, how to address that?
Okay, kung naagyud na siya, even gani face-to-face, mawad-an man ginagana ang mga batang eskwela, no? So, siguro, I would like to suggest that kana bitong nighttime, you share stories about the relevance of how your life changed or kanang benefits bitaw of education. Sato lang ba? Kana bang dili bitaw mailhan lang. That is injecting the the relevance and the importance of education. Second is that I hope you will also feel and show them that you are interested, that they are learning. Kaya kung kapuyon sila, ayaw sa ina, bitaw sa uy, kana po din yung maestra, no? Kapuy, bitaw sa, ayaw sakye lang. Sige, maana lang ka nga. Sige, pinangga ka ng asa makadapit kay kapuy man ma, ka ng kuan, daghan kay, ansa ni siya, and so on so forth. So, kana, paminawa, nisulti lang po siya, sige, sa unsa man nga paagi, para dili ka kapuyan. Inana ba? Manyain na po sila nga, kanang, siguro tungod kay minus imong katulog. So, mao lagi i-follow gyud si mama nga matugyog ka aning orasa kay magduka man karon kay dugay man kang nakatug. So ana ba again, establish mura bag sa basketball pa mag-warm up sa mo, magchika sa mo ba before sila mo padung sa ilahang eskwela.
Yes, that's a good point, Doc. And I think sakto ka, no, sometimes even in class persons, some students struggle with the attention span or the motivation to go to school, and then somewhat karon kay what you call it, there's less physical interaction or social interaction now that they experience with their other classmates. But I think sakto ka, Doc, kay it's really the parents' role now to set the mood, to set the attitude, and what do you call it, garner that excitement for class, hopefully, even if we cannot do the traditional method. So we have another question coming in, gitype pa, Doc. But here we have one. Challenge aning online learning is kami mga ginikanan dili sad mi familiar aning mga internet apps. So what advice could you give to the less tech savvy parents, Doc, that now have to adjust to this online learning situation?
This is part of the tips that I shared ba. This is one of the best motivation you can show to your children ba. Na despite bitaw sa dili bitaw ka techie, you tried your best to go out of the comfort zone just to let them realize ba nga ikaw gani nga di kaayo kaingon ani naning kamot ka ba. So how much more sila? So the best time that you can inspire them to learn more because both of you together ba are learning on the process. So dindot ideal kay siya, no? Ideal kay siya paminawon, pero kanang ang process bitaw ani dili sayon. Pero remember, it's
Yes.
in the journey that you will enjoy the most, not the destination. So make the
Right.
most of your time now.
Yes, I think this is, and I think, Doc, no, one of the slides that stood out to me in your presentation was reaching out to other parents also for support, because I think, you know, this question is not only one parent's challenge. I think a lot of parents may be undergoing this, so it's important to reach out to your friends or your relatives that also have children, no, going to school. I think it's an adjustment for us all. It's a learning process, and to have that patience and to also make that effort for the education of our children, no, to make it as comfortable, to make the situation as comfortable as possible, even though it may be uncomfortable for us, no. But anyways, Doc, I would like to end this question and answer session with one last question. I always ask this for our speakers, and my question would be: if you have one takeaway message for all of those who are watching right now, what would the takeaway message be from your presentation?
Okay. So to you all parents, this may be very hard for you, no, because this is really in line with the technology, but very hard. The pandemic is really challenging us, but to be parents to our children. And because of that, I just hope that whatever challenges you encountered, keep up the kind of parents that you are having, especially the nurturing one. And I just hope that with these challenges, you will be able to inspire and motivate your children na wala joy problema nga dili nato ma-handle. And I just hope that with this online learning experience that is really a trend now, all of us, kao ginikanan and the children will really learn to really be adaptable and be flexible of whatever challenges we may encounter in the future.
Sige, thank you so much, Doc. I know a lot of parents watching must be feel inspired, no, to maningkamot ta for our children, no, for the students, and I think all of those teachers watching as well have the opportunity to echo to those parents, no, that may not have been able to join us during this webinar, but maybe they can also give some advice to the parents of their students as well in terms of how they can support their children as we transition to this new learning environment. So I really want to thank you again, Doc Silona, because I think it was a very light but informative session this afternoon. I hope all of you enjoyed it. If you enjoyed it, maybe you can give Doc Silona a thumbs up or a like in the Facebook page or the Zoom chat. Kay she really did a great job. So daghan kaayog salamat, Doc Saliona, and we hope to see you again and to I hope you continue your advocacy, no, of encouraging parents to support their students during this difficult time. So thank you again, Doc. Okay, so moving forward, we hope that this session was informative for all of you this afternoon. This pandemic has forced us to change and adapt in all aspects, and as challenging as it may be for us, it will be even more challenging for our children when they return to school. So I hope we all learned ways in how we can support our learners as we return to class. So as I mentioned before, Rafi's Education Development Unit has been working hard to create new initiatives to support our public schools during this pandemic, right? As we transition together into the new normal. So Rafi will be launching 3 initiatives to mobilize resources to support both our schools and our students. So we have a slide to go with this. So our first project is Project How Us, and this provides hand washing and sanitation package to help public school facilities, right? Our project aims to, number 1, address the risk of spreading COVID-19 in schools. Number 2, strengthen schools' community towards the importance of health and sanitation. And number 3, equip the schools on preparing proper health and sanitation policies. No, so while we are not yet in face-to-face classes at this moment, we would like schools to prepare so that if ever we would go back to school, back to face-to-face classrooms, school buildings are already outfitted for the new normal. That will be our first initiative in Rafi. Our second is Love Tab, which is a donation drive to gather new and gently used gadgets to be used as learning tools, right? Such as laptops, smartphones, and tablets. This will be for public school students to use in their distance online learning. So we want to provide these gadgets and then also mobilize additional resources to provide this. So if you have an extra gadget laying around, maybe you can consider donating it to help a student in need. And our third campaign is a project called Raise to Reach. This is to help raise funds to cover the monthly fees of students for their education. No? So we want to be able to provide learning materials and mobilize funds and resources to produce these module learning materials for students. So for more information on how you can get involved with these initiatives, please be sure to like the Rafi Facebook page. We will be releasing more detailed information in the coming days. So please be sure to like us on Facebook if you haven't already. And if you enjoyed today's webinar, we would like you to join us in our next Restart episode. That will be on Thursday, October 8 at 2 p.m. This is where we will be learning from a dietitian on how we can boost our immune system against COVID-19 with proper nutrition. This is also learning nutrition to help prevent cancer, right? Because October will be Breast Cancer Awareness Month. This is in partnership with our Eduardo J. Aboitiz Cancer Center with program within Rafi. So again, you can register for that. We will be releasing the registration link in the coming days on our Facebook page. So if you've enjoyed today's webinar, maybe you can join us in our succeeding episodes as well. So we hope you enjoyed the session. We would like to know what you thought. So please take the time to answer our evaluation form so we can make our future episodes even better. We will be sharing that link in the Zoom chat as well as in the Facebook comment section. It will only take a few minutes. So please give us your feedback so that we can make our future episodes even better. So again, I would like to greet all of our teachers a happy Teachers Month, and we wish you the best of luck as our school year begins in a few weeks. We know how hard you have been working to make this experience as comfortable as possible for students, and we really appreciate the service you do, not only for the students, but for the community as well. So in line with Rafi's vision of touching people and shaping the future, we hope that today's session has made you more aware of what you can do amidst this pandemic and how we can move forward confidently and together into the new normal. Thank you so much for joining, and remember to stay safe.
There will be no face-to-face classes and sessions until we are assured of the safety of our children and our teachers.
Ay online gagawin ang lahat ng
At least 50 young students should be
pag-aaral ng mga
crammed
estudyante
into the
at kung
small
magbalik tayo
space.
sa normal.
Instead, we are seeing an empty classroom.
Hapit na gyud ang klase. Kulang pa gyud among modules para sa among mga estudyante. Kulang pa gyud kay mig resources. Kung saan man ninamo karon?
Klase na. Wala pa ko'y magamit na laptop o cellphone man lang para sa ako ang pag-eskwela. Kinsa ka ang pwede makahatag na ko sa?
Ay, kami nga sa among eskwelahan. Sa umangkod, dili man safe kung moari among mga estudyante. Kakulang pag-irintaw na mo fasilidad.